Now, before I start the video, I have one simple question. Which phone would you buy? The Pixel 8 Pro or the Pixel 8? Now, the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are two phones that damn near perfected their craft. They have an insanely powerful chip that can handle any app that you throw at it. They have really good displays that will give you an amazing visual experience. They have good batteries that can not only last you all day, but can also learn your usage and get better the more you use it. And most importantly, both of these phones have a cheaper price than their competitors, meaning that you'll get better value overall. And even looking at them from an individual standpoint, the Pixel 8 was a very premium phone that had a lot to offer in terms of hardware, features, and overall usability, all while costing $700. And the Pixel 8 Pro is a top-of-the-line Pixel flagship that is not only here to compete, but also solidify Google's hardware as a top-tier flagship making machine. And not only was it top tier, but it also came at a slightly cheaper price, despite being increased to $1,000. So even though both of these phones came with a lot of anticipation, I think so far they have held up very well, and no matter which phone you end up choosing, you'll be happy with your decision. So I will be comparing the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro based on 5 different categories, starting with display, software, battery, speakers, and last but not least, cameras. Now, the first thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 8 to the 8 Pro was the display. Now, the Pixel 8 Pro has a 6.7-inch actual display, and the Pixel 8 has a 6.2-inch actual display that are very similar in comparison when it comes to the overall feel of them. And even when we look at the refresh rate of each phone, the Pixel 8 now has a 120Hz refresh rate, so both phones felt very smooth when scrolling, and they're basically on the exact same level. When it comes to responsiveness, the 8 Pro and 8 were pretty much the same as well. Both phones responded very well to everything that I pressed on. The 8 Pro felt a tiny bit quicker, but it's really not that big of a difference if I'm being honest. And now when it comes to the size of both displays, I can't really give you a true winner to this one because size is based on preference. Some people think that 6.7 inches is too big. Some people think that 6.2 is too small. But I will say that in terms of viewing experience, I honestly preferred the 8 Pro since it was bigger and I got much more screen real estate. And I pretty much had the same opinion when it came to brightness. The 8 Pro was slightly brighter, especially whenever I went outside and wanted to be on my phone. But despite that, the Pixel 8 is also very bright. Both can reach over 2000 nits worth of peak brightness. But again, the 8 Pro has 2400, so it's better when it comes to that. And one thing that I will say is that the 8 Pro had a high quality screen when you put both of these phones side by side. The whites were brighter and more white. Colors were about the same, and the 8 Pro was a tiny bit sharper, but I had to look really hard to notice it. Now, the final thing that I really liked about the 8 and 8 Pro's display was the fact that they both had really great resolutions, both phones had sharp displays, and both phones gave me an overall great experience. So I would say that in terms of resolution when watching videos, it was pretty much tied. And to give you guys an idea of my experience with each phone, here are some examples of me watching videos on each phone.
That shot right there would be good as a statue. As he recognized and fixed it just in time. Kobe, he's getting a little frisky right now. Trying to work on Anderson. Look at this move.
Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 8 to the Pixel 8 Pro was the software. Now, when it came to software, I would pretty much say that the 8 and 8 Pro did really good. And even though Android 14 pretty much just came out, the software felt very identical and I was getting a little bit of lags. The 8 was able to handle the software a little bit smoother. The animations on the 8 Pro were a little bit better, but the 8 held its own very well. And again, I would get lags here and there whenever the phone was very hot, but it was much less often. But besides that, I can honestly say that both the 8 and 8 Pro rarely gave me that much problems, and a simple software update will fix both. And when it comes to the software running heavier apps, the 8 Pro handled it better with less lags. The 8 would get minor lags whenever I crashed my car in Asphalt 9, and it would become a little bit more choppy when there were more animations. Speech to text on both phones were as sharp as ever, and thanks to Google Assistant, I would use it much more often than on any other phone. But when comparing it on both phones, they were pretty much the same speed and accuracy. Customization was the same. You're able to do as much as you can do on both phones. And now the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 8 to the Pixel 8 Pro was the battery. And now, even though it's early, so far the battery on the Pixel 8 Pro was much better for me when I was using both phones. The 8 Pro was able to last me all day with 6 to 7 hours of on-screen time, and my Pixel 8 will last me towards the end of the day as well, but I would have to use it less to get to that point, which means that I was getting 4 to 5 hours. And now with the 8 Pro, I ended my day with about 15%, which was pretty solid. And with the regular 8, my battery will be on 10%, which was still really good. And also, I didn't use power saving mode for this test, so the 8 Pro is much better when it comes to pure performance. And now when it came to charging speeds, both the 8 and 8 Pro were pretty much the same. The fast charging did okay. I would usually charge them overnight, but whenever I charge them during the day, after about 30 minutes, they will usually be over 70%. So overall, I would say that the battery on both phones was pretty good. And if you're someone who was looking to get the 8 or the Pixel 8 Pro, then both phones can last you all day with no problems if you monitor your usage properly. Now, the next thing that I wanted to look at when comparing the Pixel 8 to the Pixel 8 Pro was the speakers. Now when it came to bass, I would say that the Pixel 8 Pro speakers were slightly better. It made listening to songs much more enjoyable. The Pixel 8 was still pretty good, especially when compared to the 8 Pro, but the 8 Pro had better sound quality. But despite that though, the sound quality on both was really good. The bass wasn't as great on my Pixel 8, but despite that, the music sounded nice, videos were loud and clear, and the speakers overall enhanced my viewing experience because they were just that good. And to give you guys an idea of how both speakers sound, I'm going to play a video so that you can see how loud they are. Now the cameras on the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro were pretty much the same. Both phones had a 50 megapixel main camera. The Pixel 8 Pro also had a 48 megapixel telephoto, but I still wanted to show you guys how each of them did. And now when we look at the daytime outside photos, we can see that this is where the camera was able to shine. My selfies were very good. The accuracy was on point and the resolution was mildly sharp. And when we look at the daytime inside photos, we can see that the cameras again were able to shine with very good lighting. The sharpness wasn't always there, but was still very acceptable. My skin tone still looked great and objects looked really good. And when it came to video quality, both had one of the best to offer. And to give you guys an example, here are some videos that I took on it. So here's the final question. Is the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro worth the $300 difference? Well, if I'm being honest, I would say no, because there was no true major advantage that the 8 Pro had over the 8. It's better because it's supposed to be, but the Pixel 8 is so good and the 8 Pro is not $300 better in no way, shape, or form. And there it is, you guys. My comparison between the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. Now let me know down in the comments. Do you think that the Pixel 8 Pro is worth the price difference? Let me know. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.